I'm Jason with the All Things Open team. I'm here with Brandon. Please introduce yourself to the ATO community.
Yeah, so Brandon Mathis, longtime All Things Open attendee, software engineer. I'm a freelance web application consultant and developer. Do a lot of work, back end, front end, anything in the web. So
cool.
Big time coder, yeah.
Well, we've got a couple topics I want to cover today. We start with careers in tech. What advice do you wish you were given when you started your career?
Yeah, when I started my career in technology, I was directed a lot specifically on, what programming language I should use. And, the advice that I would give someone starting out in technology right now is, what problems do you want to solve? Do you want to solve problems on the web? If so, then, the answer of what languages you need to learn are very straightforward. HTML, JavaScript, CSS. If you're looking more in a data direction, there are specifically built tools for that. And, I would kind of say, again, focus on the problems that interest you the most, because the way that I learned how to code really was building my own personal projects. So,
got it.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice that you would give others?
I would say one of the number one things that, a piece of advice definitely that I wish I had given to me, and a piece of advice I would love to give others is, look up on meetup.com some of the local meetups in your area that technology professionals go to. Here in the Triangle, for instance, North Carolina, we have All Things Open that has a huge meetup presence in the area. We have some JavaScript meetups. We have the Triangle Devs meetup, which I recently started earlier this year. Sometimes you'll hear really interesting talks, but more important than anything is you'll make connections with other people in the industry. And I find the best way to land a job is to find some good friends who have jobs at the company you want to work at, because nothing takes you further than an internal recommendation. So meetups are super strong. Really like that a lot. And I would also say on top of that, keep an eye out there for all the new digital content about coding. The All Things Open channel, I think, has a ton of really interesting, really nice consumable bites of content that I like a lot. So I do a lot of watching of YouTube videos these days. And it's even 16 years into the industry, it's a great way for me to learn new things. It's on YouTube.
All right, great tactical advice there. So you mentioned getting into code. If someone wanted to start coding today, where would you point them to?
If you wanted to start coding today, I would say, again, to kind of go back to the YouTube thing, I feel like there are some really amazing pieces of content, long form, podcast, stuff like that. But I don't feel like that's really anything new. A lot of people know, I think, that YouTube is a great resource for learning how to code. One thing I would recommend that people take a look into, though, is take a look at your local community college. I've noticed a lot of accredited community colleges, especially even here in Wake County. Wake Tech is huge with it, that are doing specialized courses specifically around software development, web application development, and things like that. So that is, I think, for an individual that's looking to take it to the next level and get a little bit out of the self-guided watching YouTube video resource, and looking to get into more of a formal environment. And then, if you like doing the self-guided stuff, there's a trick that an old mentor of mine taught me back in the day, but that's code katas, essentially solving small coding exercises. And there's a website called Exercism.io that I open up every single morning, and it's got really, really simple code exercises in every imaginable programming language that you could think of. And I use it every day. You can write code right in the browser. Other people review it from the community. It's really cool. I like it a lot. So
that's great, man.
Yeah, man.
We're going to talk about those two letters, AI. Tell us about your experience using coding with AI tools.
Yeah, I adopted AI tools in my coding practice really October of last year. So I've been about a year into it. The biggest tool that's provided me the most amount of benefit, I would say, is GitHub's Copilot. It really is like having an assistant sitting right next to you, helping you to write the code. But it helps in a bit of a different way, sort of like the mechanics of writing code. Like, I do a lot of React.js development. So writing JavaScript with the curly braces, and then suddenly you're switching to HTML and you're doing these tags. Copilot is so good at auto-completing this stuff. It just is really aware of the fact that you need a closing tag, if you write a use effect hook, it knows what dependencies to put into your dependency array on React. So I really like that a lot. And sometimes too, it can be really fun to engage with Copilot, sort of like in a weird back and forth by like, if I write a function called like OAuth with Zoom, and I write a description of like comments at the top of the function, Copilot can be really smart and start filling in the blanks in the function. And it at least like gets me out of that writer's block mode. I remember like before Copilot, I used to sit there being really, really intimidated about, well, what do I write first? It's a blank piece of paper. How do I attack this? You know, Copilot kind of puts some tools right there on the table for you, but it is Copilot, not autopilot. You really, really do have to, you know, drive that tool yourself. So I like that a lot. And then also good old ChatGPT, man. Great resource to be able to have an honest, open conversation without having to maybe take up another engineer's time. I have felt that social pressure personally of wanting to reach out to a senior or lead engineer, but going, oh man, like, I just, you know, now I can open up GPT and have a quick convo and know maybe I do need to reach out to a senior engineer on this one. So I like using that as a tool a lot.
All right, great tool set. Yeah. I'm curious, how can developers prepare for an AI future?
Hey, this is Todd with All Things Open. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it. Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button. We've got a lot of new content coming we think you're going to be interested in. One final favor, be sure to go to allthingsopen.org to see everything that we do. Back to the video.
I would say right now, the best way to prepare for an AI future, go to OpenAI and create a platform account on their system. They will provide you with a bank of free credits. They'll provide you with an API key to build integrations, but more importantly than that, they provide you with a graphical user interface that you can use for like training your own GPT and loading in like data into like an internal vector database, I guess. I mean, I'm not totally familiar with some of the internals, but you know, I just kind of found that to be a really fun starting point for me personally to build some custom AI stuff without having to get right down to the code right away, because I will be upfront, the APIs are still a little messy. We're early on, I think, in the AI world still, especially when it comes to building like any form of API tool. So they can be a bit challenging to work with, but man, the OpenAI platform that they have on their backend has been some fun to play with, I would say. I like that a lot.
Got it. Mm-hmm. All right, last topic for the day. What's the state of JavaScript?
Oh man, the state of JavaScript. I mean, I feel like JavaScript has never been in a stronger position. I mean, I think that, you know, Stack Overflow released, you know, their big survey, you know, just several weeks back of the most popular languages out there. Naturally, JavaScript is number one. I think that could change when WebAssembly.js starts to become more common practice. There's a bit of this promise of being able to write code that'll run natively in the browser that could be Scala or Clojure or Ruby or, you know, whatever. But right now, if you want to write code and have it run in your browser, you need to be writing it in JavaScript. And, you know, because of that, a lot of companies have kind of gone, well, let's also write our backend in JavaScript too. And I mean, JavaScript has some challenges when it comes to backend development, but with tools like TypeScript and stuff like that, I would say, you know, most of the companies that I work with, contract with, or even interview with on a routine basis, definitely as of this year, they have a very, very, very strong presence of JavaScript in their technology stack. And if you're learning JavaScript right now, I still think you're on the right track. I write in JavaScript every single day. And it's one of my favorite languages, honestly. I do like it, yeah.
All right, well, you heard it here, the state of JavaScript.
Yeah.
Always a good time, Brandon. Appreciate your time.
For sure. Thanks for having me on again.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, it's great.